Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Kick It to Scoops. On the show today, we've got a very big show lined up for you all, and it is a big, big show because we're getting after the buys. The buys are done. Thank Christ, the buys are gone and to never be heard of again for the rest of this season until the buy between the bloody round 24 and the week 1 of finals. Get rid of the buys, Andrew Dillon. You're replacing Gill. Do something. And they said they're not going to get rid of the buys, I heard during the week. Far out. They might even keep it at the 4-game format, and they were like trialing it. Well, troll this. It's shit. Get rid of it. Now on the show today, we've got the world famous segment Scoops Goes Bang, and why it is not Adam Simpson's fault, not solely his fault at least, for why the Eagles are playing so bad. What I think they should do, we'll get to that shortly. Dougal Howard and the Josh Dunkley, ridiculous, costly 50-metre penalty in the last quarter after the Max King non-review goal that was overturned. And then after that happened not long after and cost us the opportunity of getting back into the game. And Jordan Dawson, speaking about being robbed, an opportunity at least, Jordan Dawson robbed at the end of the game. We'll get to that very, very shortly. My team of the week, preview the rounds just gone and upcoming. The Scoops medal, my Supercoach Talk, improving again, up a few percent, but we'll get to that shortly. And obviously, any final thoughts, anything like that. But first off, start off with this. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. Want me to roast a friend, wish someone a happy birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. Subscribe if you have not already. We're well over 2,230 subs. So I greatly appreciate every single one of you that have subbed and that are true fans. I know who the true fans really, really are when it comes to the end of it. I know who the real, true fans are. Please smash the like button if you haven't already. We want to aim for at least 20 likes for this video. There's a very special guest that'll be joining this podcast, this exact podcast, Kick It to Scoops. Someone will be making a brief appearance in an upcoming episode of Kick It to Scoops in the next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm looking forward to telling you all who that is the day of the episode. It's going to be a guest that some of you are familiar with. What's that mean? You have to wait and find out then. Maybe in 3 to 4 weeks or so, that might be happening. That will be happening. So keep an eye out for that. Also, if you missed my goal kicking challenge with Geelong Falcon captain and Vic Country representative Michael Rudd, the key forward, the 190 centimetre key forward, young superstar, you see there, goal kicking challenge we had. Scoops versus draftee Michael Rudd. It's a really, really, really close finish, and I'm not going to spoil it. For some of you that did watch it, thank you for watching it. Go share it to your mates and get them on board. This is the first of many Scoops goal kicking challenges with draftees, AFL players, VFL players, VFLW players, any draftees, any of those people that fall under that banner. I'm trying to get on. So, and I've got some lined up in the next few weeks or so, even potentially earlier than that. Can't reveal everything right now, because until it's recorded, once I record it, you will all be the first to know. So go check that out. That was up last night on the channel. It's a really, really close finish, and trust me, you will not want to miss it. It is a great finish, great video. Put a lot of effort into the editing and everything like that. Now I know at the start of the video you might see a bit of a blurry footage. That's not my phone. It's just the phone, the person that filmed for me. It just happened at that exact unfortunate timing. But the rest of the footage from the intro bit is all clear cut, as you can see, and that footage end is even clearer when you watch a video. So just stress you off. We've hit 26 likes as of this recording on that video alone. So please keep smashing that like button if you haven't already on this video, that video, and any other video that I get out there. Go check that out. It's on the channel right now. If you're watching this, watch this episode of Kick It to Scoops, then go straight to the the Scoops goal kicking challenge. It goes to 12 minutes. You do not want to miss it. It's an absolute cliffhanger. To quote a good friend of mine, it's going to be a close one. It is. It's a toughie to see who won. It's just say expect the unexpected is all I'm going to say. Now, also recently I've had interviews with Essendon VFLW young star Olivia Manfrey from the Bombers VFLW side, and very popular former AFL player agent Ricky Nixon, who talked about Ross Lyon getting shafted. And if you haven't checked that out, or the Olivia Manfrey video, please go and check them out. Before we get into the rest of the topics, let's go through the AFL ladder, shall we? After round 15, the ladder is this. The Pies on top on 48 points, as are the Power in second place on 48, 13% separating the two. Third place, the Lions get a win ahead of Melbourne in third place on 40. In fourth place, Melbourne on 36 points. In fifth place, this is where it starts to get a bit nervous for the sides, 5th to 12th, or 13th or 14th, really, actually. Realistically, all the teams up to 14th of the Giants can get in there. In fifth place, you got the Saints on 32 points on 109.2%. The Bombers in sixth place on 32 points, also 170.0%. The Bulldogs, 32 points as well, 102.9%. The Crows, tough loss against the Pies, in eighth place on 28 points with a percentage of 115.1. It's better than the three sides above them. So they pinch a win, though, and leapfrog them on percentage. In ninth place, Geelong, just a close win over the Demons. Come from behind win in the last quarter. They're on 28 points, 114.2, 0.9% behind the Crows. The Suns got a big win over the Hawks. They needed to bounce out of that bad loss to Carlton and the G by 60-odd points. They bounced over that type of win against the Hawks. They're in 10th place at 28 points, 100.7%. In 11th place, we got the Dockers on 28 points at 97.3%. It's getting close. The Dockers had a good win over the Bombers. The Tigers had the bye this week, which in 12th place on 26 points, 102.4%. In 13th place, the Swans at 24 points. That massacre win against the Eagles, 171 bloody points. The fourth highest victory in AFL VFL history. Unbelievable. The Swans in 13th, as I said, at 24 points, 113.3%. The Giants in 14th place, still a dark horse for me. They had the bye this week, 24 points at 97.0%. And the teams that definitely can't make it, the Blues in 15th place on 22 points at 98.1%. The Hawks in 16th place on 16 points, coincidentally, at 75.1%. 17th place, the Roos on 8 points at 69.6%. And dead last on 18 points with 4 points, 47.3% to the West Coast Eagles. Now, it is time for that world-famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang! Oh, boy, where are we going to go? Where are we going to begin? 3 big topics to bang on about. Okay, Adam Simpson and the Eagles. Now, the loss was embarrassing, but tell me where I'm telling lies here. How the hell do you expect people that keep saying, sack Simpson now, get rid of him now, he's not needed, get rid of him now? I'm sorry. No bloody mastermind coach or any coach, up-and-coming coach, is not going to do anything different to what Adam Simpson has got right now. He's got 25 bloody players to pick from. I'm sick of people saying that Simpson deserves to get sacked and that. He does not. He's actually had genuine excuses the last 2 years. It's just a fact. Yeah, it is. He's had stuff all players to pick from last year. He had COVID, a lot of players injured, a lot of their main players injured. And this year they've had basically 3/4 of their list injured. And a lot of them are the best 22 players. Now, I'm about to name a few that have played on the weekend, but have missed chunks of the season. You got Shuey, Yo, Nat Nui, Darling, McGovern, Barras, Hearn, Liam Ryan, Jamie Cripps, just to name a few. They're big outs. And then the players they're forced to play, has only got 25 to pick from. 12 of them, at least, I counted off camera, there's at least 12 that do not, and in fact, this is probably me being generous, there's 12 that do not deserve to be playing AFL, let alone be on an AFL bloody list. That's part of the list management, which Simo is obviously a part of to some degree. But solely the list management responsibility is on the onus of, you guessed it, the list manager and the list management committee, crew, whatever you want to call them. They're the reason they're in this mess, partly into this mess. And it's also the players' fault. Look at players on the weekend, not putting in no effort, no heart, no determinations, no skills. That's not Adam Simpson's fault that the players don't put in effort. He's not the one doing that. He said in his press he's been trying to maneuver some moves, but as expected, he's limited to making so many moves because he's got 25 bloody players to pick from, and anytime they get anyone back, there's other ones going out. And sometimes they're the good ones that go out. Like this week. They might get Jamie Cripps back against my Saints, of course. And then potentially someone else, Hearn, that's it. Typical, but, whatever. They've got excuses, the Eagles. And I mean, I'm sick of seeing the media experts and online people, keyboard warriors, thinking they know more. Yes, sure, Simpson's to blame for part of it. He can't be fully not blamed. But to fully blame him is ridiculous, saying, I've got to get rid of him now. No, do it now. The change is going to be made. Change is going to be made. That's attention-seeking people in the media saying that. Tell me where I'm telling lies. No coach would do anything from this week onwards to the end of the season with that team availability. They're not going to win a game. They're not going to probably be close in many games. Even if they are, they're not winning. And it's not because of Adam Simpson. It's because the players put in no effort. They've got no one to pick from. And the list management stuffed it up. Now, the only thing I could possibly blame Adam Simpson for is renegotiating contracts. Again, that's part of list management, but he obviously would have a big say, especially in his senior players. As much as they've been good for them over their careers, Nat Nui should not have got a 2-year extension. That is laughable. That's his fault, or partly his fault. Hearn's been terrific, but also injury prone. McGovern and Barras are younger. That's a bit understandable. Yo runs the injuries all the time. They should not have given him an extra year. Of all the ones I do understand kind of though to a way of the older guys with Hearn and Yo, because they've had great form when they've played. But the other guys, mediocre or they're out for too long. Like, the changes need to be made on the Eagles list. I think if pick one, they should take Harley Reid and just take the risk. But if they are to trade it, they would try and get a couple of future first and top 10 picks of this year. They need more of those. Look what Hawthorn's doing with Newcomb and Warple and Will Day and Josh Weddle and Cam McKenzie, Josh Ward, and some other players in there as well. Mitchell Lewis and players like that, they're doing well. North Melbourne with like Sheasel and Wardlaw and Larkey, and players like that. That's what the Eagles need to model. They got Jinby at the moment of their younger brigade. Who else? They haven't really got any. And if they do, they're not performing. And they're later to rookie picks. There's plenty of players I could name that shouldn't be in that team, but I'm not going to out of respect to the club. Or more the players, sorry. But there's at least 12. And trust me, there's some that have been... I'm going to give you a hint without telling you. Some of these players that are on their list right now are players from other clubs that they picked up. So, take your guesses, but I'm not naming them. It's just laughable. With the list management, the players putting in no effort are to blame. So, to the commentary around Adam Simpson being second and that to make a difference, it will not make a difference. And even if they do change the coach next year, which unfortunately for Simo, I think they will, but even though he's contract for another year on top of this one, it probably will happen. And then the players will probably not be injured next year because they'll get rid of the dead weight. So everything like that. And the older guys that aren't worth the money they're on as well. It's just like, they'll probably go better next year because those guys, if Hearn and those guys that are sticking around, Shuey and that, and they won't get injured and they'll play better as a team and at least not lose to margins like this consistently. They'll go, oh, yep, see, it was Simpson. No, it wasn't. It'd be because they finally, after the last 2 years of full amount of injuries, they finally are injury-free to a lesser extent, not to this level, not to the names that are out, and not to the margins they lose by with the inexperience or hacks that are playing at the moment for them. That's on the list management. That's not solely Adam Simpson's fault. So get a grip. It is the list management's fault and the players that are putting next to no effort. And David King showed some examples on First Crack last night, some of the experienced Eagles players not putting in effort. I'm sure there was many examples in those ones they showed. But that they are the ones to blame, the players putting in no effort and the list management. Simple as that. And the people that are negotiating the contracts for players of old age that are injury prone like Nat Nui and that. Simple. Plain and simple. Lift your game. Simple. All right. Next one. Oh, good golly God. The Dougal Howard 50-metre penalty that was given against him for not standing the mark. First off, the rule is shit. It's shit. No sugarcoating this. Don't sugarcoat things here. I'll say what I think of it. It's shit. Okay? I know a lot of people don't like it. I understand what the rule is. Now, people are going to probably say here, oh, the rule's a rule. Whether it's shit or not is a different story. That's fine. But it's shit. And this example that was given was shit. Now you're going to say, oh, it's this St Kilda player. Here he is whinging about it. He knows the rules, but he's still whinging about it. No. The umpire should learn the bloody stand rule himself. For starters, Josh Dunkley took half a bloody hour to get rid of the freaking ball. And I hate players that stand there intentionally wasting time, and the umpire just lets them off and says, move it on, play on it 30 fucking seconds later. Like, seriously. They're time wasting or whatever. Tell them to play on. Stop giving them half an hour to get rid of the bloody thing. Like, seriously. Then, Dougal Howard was on the mark on the wing. And then Dunkley went off the mark, pushed back on the mark, about 30 metres away from Howard, give or take around the 30-metre range, maybe 20 to 25 to 30. Regardless, that's not the fact. He's a fair way away from Howard. Dunkley ran to the right-hand side. Howard ran or moved to the left. So it didn't impact the kick. Now, I know that's not technically part of the rule. You move any point, it's bad luck. Yes. But he took that long to move on. Then Dunkley, when he moved to the right, moved forward to the right, and the umpire hadn't called play on, and Howard moved, despite going the other way. But anyway, and that far away from Dunkley anyway. How's that impacting the play? And why the hell did the umpire pay 50 for Howard? Because he forgot to say play on when Dunkley clearly moved forward, straight and to the right, curved, forward, kicked, and they gave 50. Do you know your own rules? This is why I say the umpiring is shit. And at that point of the game, it was just before Max King kicked a goal, got us a 10-point start of the last, thought, okay, we're not probably deserving to win, but we're still a chance, and that's great signs to possibly win this game. Then to have that overturned, whatever, that's another issue. But apparently it was a point, so I'm not going to argue it. So they put it from what could have been 10 back to 15, and then that just stuck the game up. So they got to 50, ended up scoring from and got a goal not long after as well. So it just stuck the momentum and everything, and I mean, it's just like, seriously. It's bullshit. The rule is shit. The umpires are shit. They don't know how to adjudicate the shit rules. Or they show inconsistencies. Like, seriously. Lift your game, umpires! And another one I'm going to be bagging the umpires about. Jordan Dawson and the Crows. Robbed. At the end. I've got nothing against the Pies. I like the Pies. I've got nothing against the Crows. I've got no favouritism towards the Crows at all. Robbed, I tell ya. Robbed. Jamie Elliott clearly, and I mean clearly, got him high. He, referring to Jordan Dawson, like, it was blatantly obvious what he did. Let me get it up. I did have the photo on there. I don't know where the hell it went. All right. Here we go. It's just loading up, guys. All right, this. Look at that. Clearly got him in the face. You can zoom in on it, whatever. You can clearly see Jamie Elliott's hand on Jordan Dawson's face. Jordan Dawson also bled from that incident. It was like 15 seconds ago or something like that. They were robbed of an opportunity to win. A great bloody game, and I'll get to that shortly. But this incident alone, again, I'll put it up there, cost the Crows the opportunity to win that game. Now, personally, I'm kind of happy they didn't. I was expecting a free, right? And if Adelaide won, they would pass us on percentage. And that would be a bit, make the 8th spot for everyone more vulnerable. Them losing is good for those Saints, Bombers, and Bulldogs. But forget that. They were robbed. And if I was a Crows fan, I'd be very pissed off. Now, Pies fans, for some reason, are bringing up back in Adelaide when Fogarty clotheslined Murphy in the Tagawi delivery, which I said at the time was bullshit. And the Ash Johnson one that didn't get the free was also bullshit. I agree. But to Revens, it's like karma for that happening. Like, seriously, guys, Pies fans, come on. You're playing fantastic. But in that instant alone, that was a free to Jordan Dawson. What is a current potential free got the hell to do with any other bloody game or any other quarter for that matter? This instance alone is clearly a free kick to Jordan Dawson, who's a great kick, 45 metres out, directly in front pretty much at the MCG. Yes, the pressure would have been on. It would have been after the siren. Robbed. Sorry. The Crows have been robbed of an opportunity to win. And now you can say he was going to kick it or not kick it. That's a hypothetical. But it's a fact that should have been a free. So they've been robbed of an opportunity here. The AFL are a joke. They are a joke. The umpire's a joke. It's laughable. AFL, lift your game. Pathetic. All right, that's a very long edition of the world-famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. It's time to go through my AFL team of the week. From the back line, the pockets, Blake Hardwick and Braden Maynard. Full-back, Harris Andrews. Half-back line, the flankers, Mitch Hinge and Will Day. Centre-half-back, Luke Ryan. Centreman, first off, the wingers, Braden Fiorini and Nick Dacos. Centreman, Errol Goulden. The flankers, half-forward line, the flankers, Chad Warner and Hayden McLean. Centre-half forward, Tex Walker, the Coleman medal leader. Forward pockets, Gary Rowan and Isaac Heaney. Full forward, Eric Hipwood. Ruckman, Oscar McInerney. Rovers, Jack Sinclair and Jordan Dawson. Interchange, Josh Dacos, Christian Petrarca, Ben Keys, Noah Anderson, and the sub, Caleb Sarong. And then the emergencies. Wrong emergency list. The emergencies, that was it last week, sorry. And this week's emergencies were Angus Sheldrick, Liam Henry, Luke Jackson. They were the three emergencies. Luke Jackson, Liam Henry, Angus Sheldrick, and Rory Laird. They were the four emergencies. Now, reasons for these selections. Blake Hardwick, 38 disposals. I know some of them were kick-outs, and I know the Hawks got smashed. But an individual level like that has to be recognised. Braden Maynard, great game, great moments in the game at the end. So I've got him in the team. I know he can play halfback, play in the midfield nowadays as well. But he deserves a spot in the team. That's where I have him. Halfback Mitch Hinge was very, very good for the Crows. Had about only 21 touches, but he was very impactful. 600 metres gained. Good distance kick. Had some good moments in the game like Maynard in a thrilling contest that was. Absolutely, probably possibly game of the year. Definitely, if not game of the year, definitely bloody up there. That's for sure. Deserves a spot there. Luke Ryan, 38 disposals, 18 marks. If you don't have him in, you don't know what you're doing. Harris Andrews, I've got to give him credit where credit's due. I didn't mention him. Terrific against my Saints. Destroyed them in the back, especially in the first half. 21 possessions and like 14 marks or something like that. About 3 to 5 contested marks as well. Unfortunately, for Saints fans, he probably cost us the game. So, and Hebert Kipwood, of course. So, yeah, but I'd have to have him in there. Will Day, despite the Hawks not being great, he was great as well, along with Hardwick. 28 touches, good amount of inside 50s and score involvements and clearances and the like. Good meters gained, so Will Day was in this team. Braden Fiorini, he's great, been great this year for the Suns when the games he's played. Been playing on more of a wing, and he's more an inside role. Did play more inside mid this week, but also played wing. He had 35 possessions, a lot of meters gained, a lot of contested possessions, which is normally his forte, but he hasn't done that recently this year. And his efficiency was pretty decent as well on meters gained, score involvements and clearances. I think it's 7 clearances as well. Errol Goulden, 3 goals, 33, obvious. Nick Dacos, a goal and 37. Played a few positions in the ground, midfield, wing, half forward, half back. He was pretty damn good again, as always. Forward line, Chad Warner, I know he's a midfielder, but there's so many dominant midfielders with kicking 3 goals and 30 possessions. I had to put him in the team, and I had to have him on the field, so I put him in the half forward line, essentially over Luke Jackson in a way. Tex Walker kicked 14 odd possessions. Now he's leading the column, and he's been absolutely bloody great. Is the big Texan. Gary Rowan kicked 3, but 16 possessions. Kicked a few late in the game while they were coming back to hit the lead, so deserved to spot on the team. Hipwood kicked 4, big impact wide the Lions beat us. So the Saints, that is, so deserved to win. Nahaney kicked 5, self-explanatory there. Oscar McInerney, there was not many big ruckmen that had big stats this round. In fact, any ruckman. So I went with Oscar McInerney. Rowe Marshall had pretty similar stats, but I thought Oscar McInerney won that battle, unfortunately, for Rowe, who's terrific this year. A lot of marks out of the ruck. And in the first quarter alone, I think he had like 5 possessions in 3 minutes that was setting up score involvement. So he deserved the spot on the team. Jack Sinclair, yes, the Saints lost. I don't care that we lost in terms of your opinion saying they doesn't have to be in because they lost. I'm sorry, I didn't know your team had to win to warrant a spot in my team. My opinion, don't like it, piss off. Hit a goal, 36 disposals. Wasn't his best efficiency, but he has that exciting factor. He still had some great ball use decisions. He had about 70% efficiency, which is low for his standards. He normally gets in the 80s or high 70s. So, not a big drop. Still fantastic. Kicked a goal. Great player. Great person. Deserved a spot in the team for his performance on the weekend. It was sublime. That's why we had chances to be in that game, mainly due to Jack Sinclair. Jordan Dawson, freaking awesome. Record Supercoach type score or fantasy scores. But he was absolutely superb. 35 possessions, a lot of marks. I think it was 11 tackles or 11 marks as well. So he deserved a spot in the team, plain and simple. Josh Dacos, I really had him. I wanted to put him on the ground. I kept going, yep, I'll put him there. Oh, no, what about that guy? Oh, I really wanted to put him on. He was superb as well. So he was the first midfielder or first person chosen from the bench that would come on. Christian Petrarca was pretty good. His efficiency wasn't great. He had about 10 clearances with 600 metres gained. Ben Keys, 29 disposals, 10 clearances and tackles. So he deserves a spot on the team. Noah Anderson, 2 goals, 28 disposals, a lot of metres gained and a lot of clearances. Again, deserves a spot on the team. And the sub, Caleb Sarong, was the next mid. I had him in a couple of times, bumped him down. It's just how many dominant mids and they were kicking goals this week. So it's just unfortunate for Sarong that he had to be bumped down because of the other guys. In fact, the whole bench are basically midfielders. So, there's so many mids to pick from. And as I said, Laird and Henry and Sheldrick, some of the other players that were next cab off the ranks. And Luke Jackson, as I said, was basically bumped off because of Chad Warner taking a spot in the forward line. But anyway, that's my team of the week. Comment your thoughts down below, what you would have done, who you would swap, who for. If you have any opinions, I'm fine if you want to have your opinions, but don't just say, that's St Kilda last, so you shouldn't have no players in. That's not proving that you shouldn't be in. You're just being an idiot. You say, okay, I think this guy shouldn't be in because this guy did this. Not that like that. Not, you picked the same. They lost. Don't pick him. You just don't know what you're talking about. I don't listen to you idiots that say that. You're not worth my time. Simple as that. But yeah, that's my team of the week. Now, let's go review round 15. An interesting round of footy in round 15. It started off at GMHBO on Thursday night. It was Geelong over the Demons, 78-63, Geelong by 15. Well, Gary Rowan, very important for their win that last week, kicking a few goals. Obviously, Jeremy Cameron had that big collision. I don't think he's got a broken jaw, so he might only miss 1 or 2 weeks. So that's good for Geelong. That it could have been even longer, what it looked like at first. But yeah, they got the win. Big last quarter. They kicked 6 goals in the last quarter in a row. Or 6 goals in the last quarter. I think 5 in a row, something like that. And got them the win there. Trucker was Melbourne's best player. In greasy conditions to some degree later in the game, or in the second and third quarters. Then it dried up. Reece Stanley said at the end of the game. So there you are. Friday night, it was my Saints and the Spuds for all the edition. And unfortunately, the Saints couldn't get the job done. St Kilda 56, Brisbane 84, Brisbane by 28. I felt Brisbane always had control of the game in terms of the margin. I think more we were bad than they were good, and it's disappointing to see in the Spuds game, Brad Crouch's 150th, Rowe Marshall's 100th, that not many people stepped up for Spud and for their teammates playing in their milestone games. So it was pretty disappointing. But yeah, Jack Singer, as I said, was superb. Clearly our best player. The Lions, McInerney, Hipwood. Danaher was okay too. And Neil and Dunkley was solid as well. Brad Crouch, I thought, did pretty well in his 150th. I'm still underrated, just Brad Crouch. And yeah, we were on to the next game, which was the massacre in Sydney. 201 points. 205, in fact, Sydney to West Coast 34. Sydney by 171 bloody points. I'm not going to get into the Simpson stuff and the no over things. I said that before. But it was a shit show for the Eagles. Hayden McLean kicked the Swans over 200. The first time in a long time, if not ever. The 4th highest winning margin in AFL VFL history, the record books say. You had Warner kick 3 or 2, Goulden kick 3, Logan McDonald and Joel Amadi kicked 4, Isaac Kenny kicked 5. I mean, it was absolutely superb. And for the Eagles, normally I'll name a player or 2, but none of them deserve a mention. They're all garbage, plain and simple. And that's just a fact of life. Yeah. But anyway. So, yep, we'll move on to the next game. As I kind of mentioned the rest about the Eagles before. It's Saturday night at Optus Stadium in Perth. The Bombers got a solid start. They were up by about 10, 15 points at one point. But then the Dockers from there, they took control from there. They needed a win after being embarrassed by the Giants last night. It was 70 points to Sydney. Freo 93 back at home, a 32-point win. Essendon 61. Parrish's return game, I thought he was okay. Merritt was okay. Essendon playing mind games with the late change. They name a ruckman, drop the ruckman, put them out, put the sub into the team or vice versa. Nick Bryan was a late in. Jai Menzies was taken out of the 22 to put to the sub. They keep doing that's about the 3rd time in space of 5 games. They're doing this so the AFL changed the rules because they keep whinging about having to omit players and do stuff like that. They're doing it on purpose now to get the AFL angry just to change it and sucker them in. Don't get sucked in AFL, but you probably will because you cave to Beveridge and Scott. So wouldn't shock me. But get rid of it. The Dockers were great. Sarong, Brayshaw, Henry, Luke Jackson, Jai Miss. So yeah, and then the Bombers, as I said, Merritt is probably their best player. Will Mason Redmond stay? Apparently Port Adelaide's priority now is not Mason Redmond, it's Sava Radigalia. Oh, by the way, also I will be doing some trade wrap videos coming up very shortly within the next few weeks, and obviously I'll do it more. I'm thinking of doing a trade video, so let me know down below if you want to see a trade rumor type video. Factual rumors. I'm not going to give you bullshit. I'll give you actual facts, unlike other people that spread lies about trades and everything like that. And tell me where I'm telling lies about Supercoach. Really, tell me. I don't lie. I mean, not about Supercoach, about trade. I don't. Remember when Ricky Nixon confirmed that Ross Lyon had the Carlton job that I said he had, and then he got shafted? Ricky said that. He was in the meetings. He said in the interview, Joker Chat, if you haven't already. So, yeah, he was robbed. Ross Lyon. And that's one of the rumors I got, and I got ridiculed for, and I was right. So, yep. Right, next game is Sunday. The game of the year, Collingwood 82, Adelaide 80. Collingwood by 2 points. How good was that game? Game of the year? Was it game of the year? What do you guys think? Comment down below. sub if you haven't already and like the video. And for at least 20 likes, if you haven't hit the like button and you're still watching, smash the like button. Even if you're not watching or if you're skipping through this, smash the like button. Game of the year. Josh Dacos, Nick Dacos, Maynard. Cox kicked a few goals late. By the way, the Coggles thing, probably not warranted from Ben Keys, but then again, Cox just talks shit. So what's he expect? So, and you're not that good, Mason. Let's be real, mate. You're only getting the game because you're a tall player. You wouldn't be getting the game for any other reason. Because that's the only area the Pies lacking is tall options. And honestly, if Dan McStay gets back in, you probably go out. So, I wouldn't be chirping too much. Ben Keys will play a game every week. And Max McElhaney and Josh Worrell, some of the young players, did really well for the Crows. They'll probably be playing a longer career than you will have. So, especially Max McElhaney. So, I wouldn't be chirping Mason if I was you. I'd just be thankful that Craig's giving you a game still. Now, yeah, the Dacos brothers, the Maynards. Tom Mitchell dropped off in the second half. It's been annoying since I traded him in Supercoach over Clayton Oliver. I had to undo it, obviously, as you know why, because he didn't play. And yeah, it's then the Crows. You had Dawson, you had Laird, you had Tex, you had Rankin popped up a little bit. Max McElhaney, as I said, Josh Worrell was pretty solid. Ned McHenry, when he came on the sub at halftime, did pretty well. So, like, it was a great game all around. Twists and turns. The Pies started well. The Crows fought back. And many Knicks, so they thought they were doing well in the first half despite being down by at least 4 goals or so. And, well, it proved to be correct in the end because they came back and they did really, really well. And then, as I said, Jordan Dawson it before, robbed of an opportunity to kick the winning goal from 45 out directly in front, basically. Robbed, they were, but Pies were great as well. Great game. The Pies pinched it by 2 points. The other game, the Suns gave the Hawks a spanking. After Hawthorn kicked the first 3 goals through Dylan Moore, Mitch Lewis, and someone else, it was 34 Hawthorn, Gold Coast 101, Gold Coast by 67 points. Suns took control after the first 3 goals of the game for the Hawks. Will Powell was good. Ballard, as always. Noah Anderson. Malcolm Roses popped up for 3 late. A lot of great performances for the Suns. My man Witsy did pretty well again, as expected. Robbed his Supercoach points. How did he not score over 100? Ridiculous. Robbed. But, yeah, great win for the Suns, and they keep their top 8 spot alive. I just quickly put the ladder back up there. You can't see the bottom 2 teams, but let's be real, no one cares in terms of the 8. So there's the teams, and you can take out Hawthorn and Carlton there too. They're the teams that are in contention. The Giants are still a red hot chance, as are the Suns. It'd be great to see, honestly, one or definitely the Suns get in. It'd be a great story. Had them 9th in my preseason predictions. They could finish around there. Hope they make the 8 just quietly. As long as it's not at the expense of us, I'd be happy to have the Suns in the 8. It'd be great to see. And also hoping we don't end up playing them. But anyway. All right, that's the review part done and dusted. Now let's move on to, you guessed it, the Scoops medal, reenacted like the great Gillan McLaughlin. Round 6. Made a boo-boo. Start again. Now it's time for my Scoops medal votes, reenacted like the great Gillan McLaughlin. Round 15. Geelong v Melbourne. Geelong be close, 1 vote. Melbourne C. Petrarca, 2 votes. Geelong G. Rowan, 3 votes. St Kilda v Brisbane. Brisbane H. Andrews, 1 vote. St Kilda J. Sinclair, 2 votes. Brisbane E. Hipwood, 3 votes. Sydney v West Coast. Sydney C. Warner, 1 vote. Sydney E. Goulden, 2 votes. Sydney I. Heaney, 3 votes. Fremantle v Essendon. Fremantle L. Jackson, 1 vote. Fremantle L. Ryan, 2 votes. Fremantle C. Sarong, 3 votes. Collingwood v Adelaide. Adelaide T. Walker, 1 vote. Collingwood and Dacos, 2 votes. Adelaide, J. Dawson, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Hawthorn. Gold Coast, N. Anderson, 1 vote. Hawthorn, W. Day, 2 votes. Gold Coast, B. Fiorini, 3 votes. The leaderboard after round 15. In equal third place on 19 votes, Rory Laird and Nick Dacos. In second place on 20 votes, Tim Taranto. And in first place on 24 votes, Jack Sinclair. There we go. There's the leaderboard after round 15. There may only be 1 or 2 more weeks of the Scoops Medal votes on the on the episodes here. I'll kick it to Scoops. From then on, during the buy round, I'll have a Scoops Medal extravaganza like I did in the previous few years, where Jack McRae and Touk Miller won the last years. Touk won last year, and Jack McRae won the inaugural Scoops Medal the year before. So who will be the third winner of the Scoops Medal? First, it was Jack McRae. Then last year was Touk Miller. Is this the year Sainer gets the award? He's definitely in the conversation. He's bloody first, and now up by 4. Jack Sinclair, with his silky skills, smart brain, smart ball user, elite kick, and an absolute weapon on the field. He's a great player. Jack Sinclair, one of the best players in the competition in terms of skills and smartness, because a lot of AFL players aren't smart, let's be real. Now, so recapping the votes, in the Geelong game, 3 votes went to Gary Rowan. In the Saints game, 3 votes went to Eric Hipwood. In the Swans games, the 3 votes went to Isaac Heaney. In the Bombers game, it went to Caleb Sarong. In the Crows game, it went to Jordan Dawson. And in the Suns game, it went to Braden Fiorini. Okay, now it's time to go through my Supercoach talk. And, well, a great bloody round for me, scoring 2,070, and I'm in the top 7%. Went up a few spots in the rankings. So happy for that more upgrade. I've gone up, I think, 8% in the last 3 weeks. So nailed the buy rounds. Thank God the bloody buy rounds are over. The only bad score I had in my 18 players I had available was Ryan Marrick, who's got 16. So imagine if he just scored a normal score, like a 60 or something, at 21-30 or so. That'd be awesome. But that's what I got. I'm pretty happy with that. The team, Dawson, Sinclair, Sicily, Dacos, Days, Sheasel, bench, Mullen and Constable. Mids, Laird, Brayshaw, Neal, Rao, Petrarca, Sarong, T. Mitchell, who I got instead of Oliver last week, and Paddy Cripps. The mid bench was Matt Roberts, Ryan Angwin, and a new inclusion, which I'm going to get to shortly. Ruckman, Jared Witts, and Kieran Briggs. Bench, Ned Moyle. Forwards, Dunkley, Zeeble, Cornelio, Rosie, Goulden, and a new player, which I'm going to get to in a second. And the bench, Ryan Marrick and Blake Drury. So those inclusions I speak of. Out, Bailey Humphrey and Matt Johnson. In, I also had about 156k remaining, so I was also able to do this. And get rid of my final rookie, Bailey Humphrey, and get. Also, with the rookie downgrade for Johnson, I got Jasper Fletcher. That's the bench player in the mid. And the forward player, I've finally been able to get. I've been wanting to get for ages, but had their buy, then other players had to move, or I didn't have enough money for him, and I didn't want to oversell the money just to get this one player. I know it's late. Better late than never, they say. It's, you guessed it, Tim Taranto. And I left over right now 60,400 with 6 trades remaining. Basically just going to do, I was thinking of getting rid of Will Day soon, but now he's got to break him to like 23 or 31. So I ain't getting rid of him in the next 2 weeks. So at least the next week, see how he goes again this week. If he gets another 100, then I'm probably not getting rid of him the whole season. Or I might, and just upgrade him to Luke Ryan or something like that I'm thinking of getting as well eventually, hopefully. But I don't really need to do the trades now. So that's who I've got there. And there's the team for the ones that you just got told, with Fletcher added and Taranto. What trades are you looking at doing? Are you looking at saving trades right now? Comment down below. Message me on Instagram, AFL Info Live, Facebook, AFL Information, Trade Rumors and Results. Want to talk Supercoach or whatnot? Want to join our live streams at night, generally after 10 p.m. Victorian time. Go check it out. It's on the live stream part of the channel, or the live section of the channel. Let's now move on to previewing. Oh, wrong graphic. Let's go to previewing round 16. Back to full rounds, and it's great to see. Thursday night at the Gabba, it's the Brisbane Lions hosting the Tigers, 7:20 Victorian time. I'll be going the Brisbane Lions to win by about 20-odd points. Friday night at the SCG, 7:50 Victorian time, it's the Swans hosting Geelong. An interesting game. I'm not counting the Swans' big win over West Coast because it doesn't count. But I'm still tipping the Swans in this one because they're at home. Gary Rowan loves playing against his old side in Sydney. He loves playing Geelong in Sydney too. When he played for Sydney, those goals he kicked. Gary Rowan loves playing against the old mob and playing against Geelong when he did at the SCG in particular. Saturday at 1:45, it's the Bulldogs hosting the Dockers. 1:45 Victorian time. I'll be going the Dockers. It's 50-50 though. I know it's a home advantage for the Bulldogs, but I'm going the Dockers to give them the faith, back it up. Twilight, Saturday, 4:35 at Heritage Bank Stadium in Queensland. It's the Suns hosting the Pies. I'm going upset. I'm going the Suns. I really think the Suns could win this. Now the Pies will possibly win, you would think. And the tipsters are mainly choosing Collingwood, but more giving people the Suns a tip. And so am I. I think the Suns could get this done. They're at home. They've beaten, well, they should have beaten Melbourne at home if they weren't robbed legitimately for umpiring back then. And you know what I'm talking about, Melbourne fans and Suns fans and AFL fans, you should in general. I'm going to the Suns. The Pies have been a bit scratchy in some of the games, and I think that Gold Coast could be one that do what Adelaide did and just take the opportunity and won't slip that lead. It could happen, but the Suns right now are playing better than that happening. Saturday night, 7:25 at the MCG. It's the Bombers hosting the Power. I'll be tipping the Power, 7:25 Vic time. Should be a good game, but I'm going to go the Power by 20-odd points. Sunday at the MCG, it's the Hawks hosting the Blues, 1:10 Vic time at the G. I'll be going for Carlton there. Wouldn't rule out Hawthorn winning though. Sunday at Traeger Park in Alice Springs, it's the Demons hosting the Giants, 3:20 p.m. Sunday Victorian time. I've tipped Melbourne, but do not write off the Giants. Beware of the Giants. They haven't played in Alice Springs, I believe, before, so who knows? They could. Melbourne should be accustomed to those conditions. They're playing there for years. I'm tipping Melbourne, but it wouldn't shock me if the Giants win, considering this will probably be a low, scrappy affair. And just wrap up the round, Sunday, 4:40 Victorian time at Optus Stadium, it's the Eagles hosting the Saints. My Saints are winning, and I'll be more concerned if they don't win by over 40 points. I'll be happy that they won, but if everyone else is kind of spanking them, I expect them to. But then again, Collingwood didn't smack them of all teams, so we'll wait and see. That was at Optus a few games ago at least. I'm going for the Saints. I'm going to win by 60 points. Hopefully Dan Mack, Dean McKenzie, Jack Billings, Zach Jones, who all played twos, could be opportunity to come in. Tom Campbell, play two ruckman Ross. Come on. Stop playing Mitch in the ruck. Play Tom Campbell in the team. Play Marshall forward. You have to then, and that four-line structure is better. And Tommy Heinl should be in defence as well. Zane Courty could come in to help Howard or replace Howard. But then it's the Eagles, so do they really need to do these moves? Probably not. And even if they did and they done well, they'll say, or they didn't change the team, they'll say, oh, look, see, we didn't need to change it. When in reality, you're playing a waffle team this week, so we can't be losing this. If we lose this, well, good golly God, I'll be really concerned, and I don't think there's any excuses I couldn't make for it, and I'm not going to. I legitimately would be very pissed off, and a lot of people would be pissed off. All right. So my final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/Cooper G. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to do a giveaway shortly once we hit 3K, and I ain't clickbaiting you. There will be a giveaway. I'm not making you pay to win things. It'll just be by subscribing. It's absolutely free. I don't make you pay if you don't want to. Like, I'm not saying you have to pay to be able to win this like some people do with giveaways. You don't need to pay to potentially win something. I ain't doing that. Subscribe is free. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And go check out my goal kicking challenge that was up on the channel last night with Geelong Falcon captain and Vic Country representatives Michael Rudden, the key forward from the Geelong Falcons and Vic Country team. Kicked 2 in their Vic Country game a few weekends ago against SA. Any more AFL players, AFLW players, VFLW players, draftees you want on the channel, whether that's for an interview, goal kicking challenge, or something else, get them to send me a message. If you know anyone, want to see anyone on, tag them in a post that I make. give them a message to let me know, and I might message them. Anything at all, please go do so. And I've got some very, very big guests lined up. In talks with some very big names, and I'm also in talks with some other players at those levels that I just suggested I'm going to try and get in contact with. Potentially some more interviews lined up this week, and something else later in the week. Very likely at this stage. Again, can never say it's official until it's recorded. Thank you all. Until then, take care and go you mighty Sainers, and still, and I mean still, all aboard the Filippo train, all aboard the Filippo train, and acknowledge me, the one. Yeah.